This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.
Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well because I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you very much. This is the 61st.2 episode of the MFer Podcast. I did do the 61st episode last week, but my internet crapped out and even while I was on the air, it was like the latency was terrible and I was just distracted with technical issues the whole time. So I was like, I don't think that counts as a podcast. So I unlisted it and then I'm doing 61 today. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Just as a reminder, this show's on all these other platforms too. X, Rumble, podcasting, all that good shit. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Hello, Nadia. Nadia, they not like us, well, at least not like me. Don't know about you, Matt. No, they not. They not like us. I agree. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. How you doing? How you doing? Hello, Manolo. Yes, I heard about this. And Ruben saying live from Gary's, and Manolo saying Gary gave you a huge shout out on his show today. Yes, I am at the Beekler house. Now, I didn't say that earlier because I didn't know if that was okay to share. You know, now everyone knows all the facts and everything, but you know, I got a call from Gary and found out all the stuff that you guys found out today on his show. And, you know, to death. It's not about me. So yeah, I am here to, just cover the house while they're gone, while they're away, while they're dealing with all that stuff. But I wasn't going to say it until he put it out there. You know, it's his business. It's his life. No reason for me to talk about it. And now that he did, yeah, it's like I'm at Gary's place. I'm not obviously in the control room, which I assure you, you can't actually fathom it until when you see it with your own eyes, when you actually look. Like, we've all seen Gary's streams, right? And you see all the action figures, but what you don't see is it's the whole room. It's the whole room, top to bottom, with every action figure you could imagine, like these beautiful statues of Gandalf and Frodo that are so intricately detailed, a giant Batmobile, a life-size top to bottom, the bigger than life Superman statue. I mean, it's wild. It is wild. And his whole house has got nerd stuff. He's got this great media room with a projector. And there's Lord of the Rings stuff. He's got a statue of what's the guy from Game of Thrones, the dwarf or whatever. And I mean, anyone who suggests that Gary isn't legit, that he's not a real nerd, you fucking no idea what you're talking about. I've heard that accusation made over the years, not by anyone who honestly knows him, but if you assert that, that is so off base. He is so the real deal. It's hilarious, but yeah, I'm here at the Beacon Place and in San Antone. I was just calling it as my friend, which count him as a friend. But just want to keep that under my hat. It had nothing to do with me at all. But yeah, here I am. And X-Ray Girls doing the baton pass on Wednesday. So next week I'll be back home in Austin with my back to my rig, back to the dual screen setup with the camera and the blue lights and all that happy horse shit. Jake D, yeah, hell to you, man. Thanks for taking care of Gary. No problem at all. This is when death happens. You gotta be there for people. That's just what it is, and it's a real tragedy and fucking horrible, honestly. And just all the other drama that was around it is just like unbelievable. Just like insult to injury on top of that, on top of losing, a close family member and another couple family members act like that. It's appalling. It's appalling. I'd say in my life. No, that's actually not true. I was going to say, you know what? When deaths were happening, most of my family was pretty good. But actually, no. I had a thing when my grandmother died. My dad's brother was trying to grab cash and stuff that, he felt entitled to. And they're all estranged now. And they don't talk. And it just adds a level of stress and anxiety and pain, on top of everything that's already so difficult. And it really sucks. It's, my heart goes out, that's all I can say. My heart goes out to them. And I feel really bad because that shit sucks. Death sucks. And when people make it harder, it's even worse. But yeah, that's been me for the week or a few days that I've been here exploring the city of San Antone a little bit. Went to some cool bars downtown. I know you guys mock me for my cocktail predilection, but I think you're missing out on a whole world of culinary delights. It's not just whiskey. It's not just, shitty beer. There's a lot out there for you guys. If you embrace it, you have some new experiences. Anyway, beyond that, Super Bowl. The big game, as it's called. The Super Bowl happened. What's this chick thing? I had a thing with some family silver. I made the quick decision it wasn't important to start a fight over. It didn't seem like the right thing to make an issue. Yeah, it sucks, dude. It just sucks when people's priorities are so primal and shitty and selfish and, unconcerning for the tragedy of the family members, and the loved ones. It stinks. It really stinks. And then it's you got to be the bigger person, which means, you probably lose out a little bit, but it's it's more important for the family to not have to suffer anymore, because some fucking sociopath doesn't have normal human feelings and normal, doesn't relate to people the way you should. So yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a shame, death stinks. It's not good, especially sudden death like Gary and Melissa are dealing with. God bless. Yeah. So the Super Bowl. I watched the game in Gary's media room. I did not go out. I was streaming late with Zach's on Saturday and got pretty toasted, pretty loaded. So I was like, you know what? I'm hungover. I'm tired. I'm just gonna stay in. Watch the game. I've made my distaste for the Eagles quite clear on this podcast. I hate them. I don't like the fans, and I never had that problem until I encountered the Philadelphia Eagles fans, and they're trash, scum, hate them. Maybe save Shane Gillis and his boys, but other than that, can't stand them. But I found myself genuinely rooting for them, for the Eagles, because I'm so sick of the Chiefs. I'm so sick of Taylor Swift being part of the NFL and, girls pretending they like football, and somehow like TikTok relationship drama is now part of the NFL. I don't care who any of these guys date, marry, fuck, kill. I don't give a shit. Well, they kill people. I probably should know. But other than that, I don't really care. It means nothing to me, and that was just annoying. And the thing is, no matter who it is, the Patriots, the Chiefs, when it's a team that just wins all the time, you get a little sick of it. It's a little annoying. And then you add in all the other girl crap and Kelsey and all the NFL scandals, or not scandals, but like the conspiracy theory that the refs are helping the Chiefs along, which is just like, I don't even know why that's a conspiracy theory. Obviously, that's what's happening. It's in their best interest. It's a revenue sharing league. Then if they get all these Swifties to watch football, they're, tripling their revenue or whatever, Obviously, that's what they want. But there was a microscope on that game, obviously. There's memes and reels and all types of stuff. It's like an open secret. Nobody is denying it. It's like you could pretend or whatever. There's like counter narratives. Guys like Big Ship disagree. But what do you mean you missed Dildo? Did he die? I hope he's okay. God bless. I hope he's okay. What's to say? What was I saying? Just the team stinks and no one likes them and whatever. I found myself rooting for them. Right. There's a microscope on this game. And it's actually funny. I messaged Big Ship immediately because there was like a horrible offensive pass interference call in like the first quarter. There was like this giant bomb on third down the field, or third or fourth down. And Eagles guy grabbed it. Beautiful catch. And he just like hit the guy, it was like technically a penalty kind of, but it was a really namby-pamby penalty. And I was like, oh, here we go. But then it was an absolute blowout. I didn't think it was necessarily a bad game. Obviously, you want to see a tighter game, but it felt good. I liked watching the Eagles run the score up on the Chiefs. I thought that was a good time. It kept my interest. I liked it. It was some crazy plays. I mean, Mahomes, he looked nothing like the guy he normally is. I couldn't believe it. Like just throwing these wild interceptions and there's like an Eagles player and there's no Chief in sight. It's crazy. And that Chiefs defense was insane. I mean, putting pressure on him all day. He never got comfortable. He never settled down. I think he had one or two maybe good drives the whole game. Just crazy how good this guy is. That's the thing too. A lot of people talk shit. He actually is a very good player. It's just that he's got a lot of help. But yeah, it was wild. I mean, it was absolutely wild. It was just a victory lap the whole game for the Eagles. Everything going great for them. Nothing. I mean, it was wild. It was wild. But then the halftime show happened, and look, I've never been a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I'm not going to pretend to start now. I think his Pulitzer Prize is very much like a DEI. You know what I mean? It's very much like an asterisk. It's like, hey, look how not racist we are. Look who we give Pulitzer Prizes to now. Like, the thing is, like, so many of these institutions, like, say the Oscars or whatever, and all, media and in general, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know who awards Pulitzer Prizes. It's something that I always imagined was prestigious, but it could just be full of activists now, and it probably is. So, when you give him that credit, like, oh, Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer, it's just like, okay, it's the same thing as like Obama winning the Medal of Peace or whatever, the Nobel Prize. It's like, yeah, okay, so what? They just award that shit to people sometimes and they don't deserve it. And that's, in my opinion, that's what it was. Especially as good a hip hop artist have existed, Kendrick gets it. It's like, oh, why? Because he's like conscious, you know what I mean? He talks about slavery and the black people. Wow. My God, give him, just bury the man in awards. I've never liked him. I kind of thought, I grew to like him more, but I'd read his lyrics. I'm like, what is this? Doesn't make sense. Like, this genuinely doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I'm not uninitiated. I'm really into hip hop. So it's like, for me to be like, what? Like, it's completely opaque to me that an American rapper, like, I don't get it at all, And then the whole Drake beef thing happens, which, like, I didn't really pay attention to the beef. I was aware of it, but I wasn't getting too into it or taking sides or anything like that. But yeah, I was always more of a Drake dude. but you get a lot of the stuff. You're just like, that doesn't look great, and you can't be the guy being like, no, actually, he's really good. He's a good dude. That's all kind of conjecture. You don't know. You don't want to be that guy. But yeah, and then like that song was pretty catchy. But honestly, like by the time this halftime show started, I was looking at it like, okay, like I don't like Kendrick. You know what I mean? So like, just do the thing, do the song. And they teased it, going into commercial. And you're like, okay, so they're going to play it. And then he just sort of drags it out the entire time. And I'm like, that meme where the guy's just like poking the thing with the stick? I'm just like, come on, call Drake a pedophile on TV. Like that's all I wanted to see. And it was like every other song, even songs I recognize, it felt so lackluster. I mean, I couldn't have given a shit. I messaged Big Ship. I'm like, this sucks, right? Like, this sucks, right? Like, it was so bad. Like, it was just dull. I didn't hate it. I wasn't like vitriolic, like, what is this? Whoa, shit. I was just like, ugh, this is boring. Like, I just was just so like tuned out. It just really felt like the most lackluster halftime show. Like, even the past years, like where it's someone that like I don't like or whatever, even the show is spectacular. This was all just so low, like I don't want to say low budget, but like low scale, which is fine. It just doesn't feel Superbowl appropriate. Just all the dancers and I don't know. Like, I just didn't care. And like, it doesn't help that I don't like Kendrick. So it's like the songs, whatever. Be humble. It's fine. But even that song deserves more. And I didn't get the whole. So there's a whole. Let me look at what you guys are saying, and I'm going to get right back into it. Let's see. Okay. You didn't like either team? Yeah, no. It's a few did. Few did. Few did. People were like, "Oh, the scummiest fans in all of football, or the darlings of the NFL that just have like golden parachute every time they play." So yeah, I mean, other than Kansas City and Philadelphia, I don't think many people were rooting. We're happy to see those two in there. Game was glorious. Halftime was meh. Already furious. You could also conveniently miss the insane makeup call next drive that led to the tush push touchdown. I was getting a drink and I was taking care of the dogs. I have obligations here. Okay, it's a big deal. All right, it's my responsibility. I had to let the dogs out. Now you have an answer to that question. It was foul ball. I had to get a drink. Okay, I missed it. I don't know. Eagles D-line was amazing. Tons of sacks without a blitz. Crazy. Didn't blitz the whole game. It just kept Mahomes on his ass for how many sacks and knockdowns and hurries. It was insane. I've never seen like such a high powered offense be so just neutered and completely neutralized. Like had nothing, no answer, couldn't adjust, couldn't do anything. Eagles looked insane, dude. Insane. Fangio planned exactly how to handle Mahomes perfectly. It was a work of art, that defensive scheme. I mean, it was beautiful. It's crazy. I was so impressed. So impressed. Bills need to seriously learn something from that game. Yeah. I mean, the problem was you were trying to stand in the way of the Chiefs getting to the Super Bowl, and the NFL was not going to have that. No, sir. No. Don't care if they win, but they have to get there. Oh, you're a Lions guy. Oh, yeah. R.I.P. You guys did real well. I really felt bad. Oh, my God. You guys said a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in the chat. All right. Then let me get back into the thing. Okay. So that was my opinion of the show. I thought it was boring. And honestly, I felt like by the time he did the Drake thing, it's over. That was the summer, that beef and those songs. Like now, like it sounded funny when you heard it. You're like, oh my God, they're gonna do the song, at the Super Bowl. Like that sucks to be Drake, dude. That sucks so much. That's like the worst thing. Like, and then at the Super Bowl, they bleeped out the word pedophile, but when it came to probably a minor, the entire stadium went up at the same time. And I was like, bro, that sucks. Like the whole country is just singing that. Oh, vicious. But other than that, it just kind of felt like, all right, this has been done. I don't know, like it's been over. Like he had his moment during the summer. It was a big moment. That song was everywhere, and that was cool, for what it was or whatever. But it was like, I don't know. At this point, it just starts to feel kind of not petty, but played out. I'm like, all right, we got it. So the one moment that I'm waiting for, I'm just like, I don't even care. But online is a debate raging. And it's really weird because I don't know, like the takes are coming from people all over the place, like really random people. Like the Fat Electrician is a YouTuber that I really love. He makes great content about military history and all types of, like just military stuff, I guess. Really fascinating, really good, well written, well edited, just great content. And, he hates communism. So you kind of assume, he's kind of a gun tuber a little bit. He's probably like a Republican Trump guy, that's what you assume. He doesn't ever let you know, which I think is admirable. But he tweeted how much he liked the performance. And he's like, maybe it's a weird take, And then there's like Black Twitter is like, the messaging was so strong. Oh, it was telling America to go fuck itself right to its face. And I was like, was it? Like, I honestly didn't pick up much from it. I didn't get the whole Uncle Tom, Uncle Sam thing with Sam Jackson, where he goes, I'm your uncle, Sam. You're like, okay, so that was a joke, probably about Uncle Tom, I would assume. I don't know what other... But the fact the pause to me indicates it was a joke. So is it a representation commentary? I don't know. It's like it's abstract art at that point because it's so subtle and you need to read between the lines. If his message is fuck America, well, fuck you, Kendrick. But even so, if that's the worst we get, fine. If I need to read tea leaves and like squint at it like a 3DI poster to understand your messaging, that's fine. I don't care. Because you're not beating me over the head with it. And if it's there, and whatever. That's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. That's actually like art, and you actually have like an expression or whatever. I don't really care. I don't like, shut up. Like, it's so tired, so lame. I don't, whatever. But it is weird. The debate online is weird. People are split, like there's a pretty big divide, It's like people from like, there's like that PragerU Black girl whose name I don't know, but she's just like, everybody knows this song. This is America, blah, blah, blah. She was vibing out to it at some bar. And then, there's like black dudes who think it sucks. There's like white people like who love it. Nina Infinity loved it. It's a very polarizing performance, which I didn't really expect. I was like, this is just boring. Like, I wasn't mad. I was just like, this is lame. I don't care. But these like little things that happened, like Serena Williams crip walking. Whoa. First of all, I didn't even recognize that was Serena Williams. And then I was just like, okay. All right. Cool. Didn't we have like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like Eminem, 50 Cent all on the same stage like last year or 2 years ago? Like, I feel like that's way cooler. Ooh, Serena Williams crip walking. I don't give a shit. I don't understand these things with like the like Black Twitter, like these wins. Winning. What is okay. Why are you so excited? Like, I don't care. Like, you feel like it's like, fuck you. It's just like, oh, okay, I didn't take it that way. I don't take it that way now. And I don't know why you're so amped to tell me that. Weird. Very strange. Very, very strange. Jake D, the halftime show should be polarizing. Should be something should never. Sorry. The halftime show should never be polarizing. Should be something everyone can love, and like Dr. Dre last year. Yeah, I think. I mean, the thing is, I don't really care. I'm never there for the halftime show. I'm there for the game. I don't care what they do in the halftime show. Doesn't matter. It could be a chicken walking around on a stage, scratching for 25 minutes. I don't give a shit. I'm not there for that. I'm there for football. So whatever. If it's entertaining, if it's fun, great. That's cool. Controversial, that's lame. It's so like try hard to make it. Ooh, I'm gonna make a statement. I'm gonna make it. Shut up. It's like when someone tries to put their little like twang or inflection on the national anthem. It's like, this is not the moment for that. Just sing the song the way it's supposed to be sung. This isn't about you. Okay? It's about America. Show some respect. The Super Bowl's kind of the same thing. It's like, it's the biggest event of the year, you know, the biggest televised event of the year. Like, would you just please just do something we all want to see? Like, there's no reason to be edgy here. Ooh, edgelord. Go be edgy the rest of the year. But here, just, could you just be chill? Just be chill, please. Halftime show should be Creed every single year. I saw that take online and I was like, bro, you are not helping the argument that only corny white people didn't understand this. That is not Creed. Ugh, come on. Creed are terrible, but their halftime show is hilarious. I don't even remember that. I honestly don't even remember that. Sencha Dildo didn't even see the halftime show. Was it cringe or gay? I just thought it was boring. I didn't think it was particularly cringe or particularly gay. I just thought it was particularly boring. It just didn't strike me at all. I was just like, this sucks. Like, I just want this to be over. Like, I just don't, I wasn't like, oh, God damn it, get this guy off my screen. I was like, no, this is boring as fuck. It really did feel like one of the worst halftime shows because it was just so uninteresting. Not because it was like, oh, are they putting messaging? It's just like, I don't care, This stinks. And it felt like it took forever. Was that just me? I felt like typically I feel like the game ends and the show pretty much starts. It felt like there was like 20 minutes between the ending of like the first half and the beginning of the halftime show. Am I going crazy? It felt like they kept going to commercial. We'll be right back with the Apple Plus fucking hoop-de-doo, bloppy-boo. It's coming up next, And like, okay, then they'd go to commercial, say nothing about, what they got to do. You got to have a big play. If they have a big play this time, it might move the needle. The game might start up and down. Okay, coming up next, the halftime. It's like, I thought we were having the halftime show. How many breaks do we have between these things? That was what I noticed. And then it was like, it was just so mid. I guess the dancing I didn't even find the dancing particularly good. Not that I have like a penchant for that, but I was just like, the guys go, okay. It felt nothing. I felt nothing about it. I was not angry. I wasn't, and I wasn't overjoyed. I was just bored. This sucks. Like, I just want this to end. I want something else to happen. This is boring as hell. So I don't know. Jake D. Kendrick fades when he's in the big light, like the Super Bowl. He sucked at the national championship a few years ago. The big stage just doesn't work for him. Well, not if you ask like Black Twitter. They thought it was the most transcendent performance that's ever been done. I don't know. That was kind of my impression when he first opened. I was like, I could barely hear him. I'm like, is this by design? Or is this like a confidence thing? I don't know. Friends don't let friends listen to Creed. Haha. Serena Williams is a 43-year-old. What's up, Cotton, by the way? Hello, sir. Is a 43-year-old mother who's married to the founder of Reddit and a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, what a win. Is she married to the founder of Reddit? That's interesting. I didn't know that. And a Jehovah's Witness. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I just, okay. Also, another athlete I just don't give a shit about. Like, the only female athletes I find interesting are MMA fighters. Other than that, I really don't care. She's the most amazing athlete. I mean, unless you put her next to like the mid-ranked college guys, then no, she isn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's cool that like, it's just, but they hype them up like they're superheroes. Like, it's fucking Iron Man out there. It's like, yeah, she's great for a chick, but I don't find that interesting. The amount of female sports commercials there were at this game. Oh my God. It was crazy. They made such a big deal about it. I was like, if it was such a big deal, we'd be watching the women's football Super Bowl, wouldn't we? Wouldn't that be what we'd be watching? If that's what was so important and everyone loves so fucking much, we'd be watching the NFL with girls, the National Female League. But we're not, are we? No, we're not. The WNBA doesn't even make enough money to justify its existence, let alone get paid more. And you're running with this narrative like we're all supposed to just embrace and love football, female sports. We don't. We don't. The only thing I took away from that black and white female empowerment commercial was like, yo, some of those chicks are pretty hot. Because that's what society, that's the value. They're hot. I'm sorry. It's just a biological imperative. Strong, athletic, powerful men keep society, safe and prosperous, so we move forward. It can protect the tribe, and hot women produce healthy babies so that the society keeps moving forward. We're just animals, man. Stop with all this shit. I'm just so sick of it. Oh, it's so annoying. And they act like, we're under such scrutiny. It's like, no, actually not. Like, you've been under the least amount of scrutiny now, with Trump in there, signing the Protect Women's Sports Act. And another thing. This is just me ranting inside my house, scrolling Twitter. Now you get to see it on camera. There was fucking chicks who let the trans women into women's sports. Okay? All right? It was your problem. You started it. There were no dudes endorsing this. No guys were pro-trans men in women's sports ever. We're always against it. Always against the men in the women's locker room. Always. From the jump. I didn't know any guys other than like really weak soy boys. But who gives a shit about their opinion? They'll go with anything the girls tell them to think. But it was girls. So forgive me if I don't feel all that bad. It's your fault. You did this. You started it. Yeah, now I'm glad it's fixed or whatever. But it was like no apologies. No like, oh shit, we were wrong. You know what? You guys were actually correct when you were pushing back on this 10 years ago. Fucking chicks, man. You gotta pretend to like their sports, and then I gotta go out of my way to protect them, their sports. Jesus Christ, shut the whole thing down. No trans women in sports, because there are no women's sports anymore. We're done with it. That's it. We're doing fucking baking championships. Shut up. Just so fucking tired of it, man. Oh my God. And then they had the flag football commercial, which like was covered widely on Twitter, but it was like the chick who's better than all the guys. Like, really? I didn't see any fucking chicks on that field playing the Super Bowl. There's not some defensive back, Shaquita. No. It's dudes. Okay? Stop this. Stop. What are we doing? I know this is very 2018 of me to be getting mad at this shit, but it's just like, fucking, could you stop? Could we stop? Ugh. God. Enough's enough. Misogynist Matt is Adult Swim's Postman Pat. Oh, it's just so annoying. So fucking annoying. What's up, Parrot Head? Good to see you. Hello, low spec, listless. Everybody's here. Hello, Mr. Gregory was cracking. Wait, there's a women's Super Bowl? No, there isn't. Because no one cares, Grant. Because no one gives a shit. No one fucking cares. Even if they played naked Senshin Dildo, I don't care. There was that lingerie football league, and you're interested for about 45 seconds, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. This is cool. It's a little weird. It's like hot, but it's not. I don't know. It's odd. Not really into it. What did McEnroe say about Serena? If she played her whole career, she wouldn't rank in the top 100 with men. Oh, she played men her whole career. I don't even think she'd be a pro. Honestly, I don't think she'd even be a professional if she only played with men. I think she, like the collegiate athletes, I think, lap her. It's like, can we just stop trying to act like it's the same thing? You want to celebrate these female athletes? Fine, do it, whatever. But just stop acting like it's the same fucking thing. It's not. It isn't. Okay? And I'm tired of pretending it is. It's annoying. It's really irritating. And it's just like, at the game, the Super Bowl game with all the men, somehow I'm getting all this female and sports propaganda at the game that the men are playing in that everyone wants to see. I saw a lot of women there, by the way, watching the men play. I don't mean to be all boomer, but yes, exactly, Zach. It's intersectional. Oh, that fucking bothered me. I'm actually stone cold sober right now. I have whiskey right here and I didn't drink any of it. This is all top of dome. Healthy mind. It just irked me. That made me way more mad than Kendrick's dumb performance. Just enough. Shut up. Just shut up. Because I saw that. I saw like the Trump did the thing. He signed the, no men and women's sports thing. And everyone's like, yay. And it's like, I mean, yeah, that's great, but it never should have been a problem to begin with. And the people we're protecting with this were the ones who made it happen to begin with. It's just these, like, I saw something. I saw this girl on Twitter today, and she said, sorry guys, harsh opinion coming or whatever. But if I saw a lone man in the woods, I'd be scared. But because the social contract, I have to be polite. It's like, what is with these women not being able to make an independent decision? Why does everything need to have like the backing of a group or society for them to then be like validated about it? Like nothing is stopping you from being scared of a man in the woods and then acting appropriately. Society's contract says I have to be polite. First of all, where even is that contract you're talking about? And secondly, who gives a shit? Do whatever you want to do. Why does everything need to be a fucking committee? Why does it need to be notarized and ratified and widespread and TikToks about it? And then you can, okay, now it's fine. Now that I won't face any social backlash, God forbid, I can fucking, what is that? I'm being very ranty today. I don't know, Listless. It was just some Twitter thing I saw. I was just like, this is so stupid. But it just set me off. It was just, why does it always need to be a collective involved? Why can't you just make your own choice? Why can't you? Okay, so society says be nice. Don't be nice. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Why does everything need to be a consensus? Oh, my word. Okay. I don't think I have anything else on the on that. I feel like I'm ranting. I feel like I'm just yelling. It's crazy time. It's crazy time we live in. Yes, that's pretty much all I got in the Super Bowl. Lame commercials. Commercials weren't funny also, by the way. Way too try hard. Boring. Like cringe. I didn't even really watch most of them. I think I was just on my phone while they were on. The only one that made me laugh was the one with Beckham. What's his name? What's his real name? His first name? I can't think of it. The soccer player from England. And he found out that he's got a half brother in the United States, or a twin brother, and they never told him. And it goes and it's Matt Damon, which was like, okay, whatever. And then he goes, at the end, he goes, how famous are you? In England. He goes, are you like Matt Damon famous? And he goes, more like Ben Affleck famous. And Matt Damon goes, shame. It's like pretty funny. That was a pretty good joke because that just felt like two friends like making fun of each other. It was like a genuinely good joke. I laughed out loud to that. It's the only thing I laughed at the entire night. The only commercial that made me chuckle, and it gave me a good chuckle. It was actually funny. Other than that, stunk. David Beckham. Thank you. God, why couldn't I think of his first name? David Beckham. Big Ship, you need to spend less time on X for the sake of your blood pressure, dude. I think you're right, bro. I think you're right. X is kind of getting me like a little crazy. I'm getting spun up by X. I really am. Because I actually find it addicting because it's not necessarily entertaining, but it is full of so much information. There is so much news, and like, especially with the Trump administration, man, there's new breaking shit every goddamn day. He's getting rid of pennies now. No pennies. Okay, sick, I guess. Just like, it's just to keep up on it. It's so addicting. But then Elon did change the algorithm because I used to get, pretty much just all my side, which wasn't great, by the way. I was like, this is echo chambery. This isn't great. Now I get a lot of like different perspectives, but they're like so like aggressive in the other direction. So it's just like an intense like seesaw between like, like hearing shit that I'm like, hell yeah. and then hearing shit where I'm like, oh, you're the worst. Like it's very, but that I think I'm a little addicted to that right now. By the way, too, Zax, all due respect, Canada Twitter is so gay. It's so gay, dude. I keep coming across. He's like, we're gonna resist. We're going to war with America. You know what are we gonna do? Fucking incorporate the like. I was just like, ugh. Why am I seeing all these people? Just the softest like guys. Like, you know what we have. You know, if maybe actually America should become Canada's 50. It's just like, ugh. So gay. Like tweet after tweet. I'm like, how did I find this corner of Twitter? I wish I hadn't. I think sometimes because I engage with people, so then it's like, oh, you like this content? We'll keep sending it your way. Like there was one woman, you know, the guy was like listing off all the reasons why Canada's so much better. And then the healthcare thing, of course, came up. And I was like, isn't Canada's healthcare really bad? So I went on Grok real quick and I was like, how many people have died waiting for healthcare in Canada? And it was like the number was way higher than I expected. It was something like 20,000 or 30,000 people. And I was like, whoa. And then it's even went on to say like that's actually probably a conservative estimate because like some of these areas don't even like what's it called, like count these numbers. So he's like said that good estimates like somewhere like 70,000 in a year have died waiting for medical treatments. I was like, oh my God. So whatever. So I sent that to her. So I sent that over to her, and you know, I guess maybe that's why I kept getting more gay Canada stuff. I don't know. But I think you're actually right, Big Ship. I think you're right. I do need to kind of chill out with the X right now. Canada Twitter is cringe. Most of Canada is cringe. Yeah. It's lame as fucking Canada right now. Just no. Rip Canada. Oh, that sucks. 1867? That's it. That's only how old you guys are? That is really young. I didn't know that. I don't know what I ever thought you started, but I thought it was older than that. Huh. Well, that's neat. Yeah. Is it true we subsidize Canada? Is that an accurate thing? Did I see that? I mean, the thing is, being on Twitter, you are bombarded with so much stuff. I don't know. It's hard to vet like which things are true and which things are just, you know, what people's wishful thinking or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, Canada's almost entirely vacant. Yeah, it's all just like big open air. But I saw something like that. I saw something like, yes, but it's in the context of military and stuff. Okay. I thought it, yeah, I heard it was something like $100 billion. Is that correct? What's the word? Subsidize Canada. Grok never lies. Well, I spelled Canada wrong. Canada. The notion that the U.S. subsidized Canada has been a point of debate, particularly highlighted around the discussion of trade deficits. So there's a trade deficit issue. There's military protection, economic support. That sounds like a yes. Okay. Public perception, public rhetoric, expert analysis. It seems a little. Yeah, it seems kind of what Listless was saying. Seems like a little bit. 200 billion. We have no military left, so we can't meet NATO commitments. That is what Trump is talking about. Oh, okay. That is the one thing that really irks me. I won't rant. I won't get upset. I swear. About smug countries that like have this kind of like arrogance about how badly America's run, and meanwhile, like you live under the blanket of protection of our military. Like, why don't you shut the fuck up a little bit, huh? You just keep it down. Shh. You know what I mean? Like, you're pretty arrogant, you know? It's like, and people are like, what are you talking about? What? That would never, you don't use your military. I'm like, really? If fucking Syria invaded Belgium, do you think the America would not get involved? NATO. We're a big part of NATO. I'm pretty sure we'd get involved. It's just so retarded. It's just this whole like, shut up. Fucking twerps. It always irks me, man. It's like, you know, and I bet you wouldn't have a whole lot of money left over, you know, if you had to subsidize your own military. But you wouldn't have a lot of money for free college and free healthcare. I bet. I would think it gets pretty expensive. Yeah, you know. Although who knows? Maybe the reason we don't have free healthcare in this country is because we needed to fucking fund DEI in Uganda or something. I mean, the USAID stuff, the Doge stuff that keeps coming out is nuts. It is crazy. And any person on the ground who's against it, I don't know what your mind is doing. I don't know what you're thinking. Like, the thing is, you get so much information, so it's hard to verify. But if it's true that the U.S. Treasury Department or whatever, the U.S. Treasury never, ever said no to a payment, to an invoice, ever, you're like, let's just keep doing that forever. How is that? How could you possibly be an American and think that? All we ever hear about are these billionaires not doing their fair share. It's like, oh, because you wanted to just take their money and do whatever you wanted with it. Like, I watched this video. Sorry, this isn't a very funny podcast today, guys, but you know what? I got a lot of things to say. Hold on. Canadians are dumb as fuck. I make no apology for retards here. Right. It'd be like complaining about the gangster you're paying for protection. No, I'm not saying you can't have criticisms, but it's a smug condescension as if Europe is the most enlightened and perfect place. And if only you could be like us, you stupid Americans. And it's just like, well, we could be if, we weren't entangled in all these goddamn, like this world police position we've been put into, just show a little respect is all I'm saying. And it's not like that because we don't have any pressure over you guys, over Europe. It's not like we exert pressure over them or take things from them. It's quite the opposite. All we do is give away, as evidenced by all these USAID revelations, just giving away money to funding the BBC, funding all these different media outlets, Politico, just give millions and millions. And I love this too. I love when you see, oh, Elon's Doge has only gotten rid of $50 billion. The deficit's 33 trillion. There's no, it's like, you don't think it's better that we have 50 billion more dollars? That's not a net positive for the fucking country? Really? Like, I'm so glad I don't have that kind of an affliction where there's like some kind of tumor in my brain that just warps all the information I see. No, Trump bad, no matter what happens. Thank God I have a bit of objective criticism ability in my head, because those people, man, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. The politicians in government, like, at least I understand their motivations. At least I get it. You know what I mean? Your gravy train is sailing away. The spout's closed. You don't get all that free money from the taxpayers. I get that. I understand why they're fighting against that. But the people on the ground, it's like, what do you benefit from this? How does this make your life better? $45 million in all this bullshit. Why? Why is that good for you? I don't know. Canada is not a productive place. Look at the assholes running it. We funded the sex work musical. Oh my God, dude. What is going on? What is going on in the world? Because hundreds of Iranian children no longer have what I can assume is wildly offensive Sesame Street. It was Iraqi children, not Iranian. Iraqi children no longer have their Sesame Street. I mean, like, and there's cities in this country that are just like, they look like they were bombed out. They look destroyed, like the Rust Belt, like Cleveland and Detroit. Horror shows of cities. No, we need to give 50 million to Iraqi goddamn Sesame Street. God bless Trump. God bless Elon. I don't care if I'm a partisan hack at this point. They're just so proud of what they're doing. They're doing such good work for the country. It's like, this is the type of stuff you just like, yeah, we all just accepted it. It all just was. And now it's like, no, not necessarily. Actually, it can be stopped. Can really be stopped. Listen, we're so bad. We don't have refineries for our own oil or pipelines to export anywhere. We send it all to the U.S. The U.S. disagrees. It buys it for reasons they don't have to. I saw even that if you guys did put like a trade embargo or whatever on us, it was like there was like a portion of Canada that couldn't get oil because there isn't a pipeline that goes directly across it. So it has to like go down into the U.S. and then up into the other side of Canada. I'm blown away by the level of transparency of information we have right now. Like we've never had this much access to information that's actually like helpful and accurate. Like I swear to God, I think the entire global world order skirt is just getting pulled up right now. I think it's just everyone's just like, whoa, like it's. I feel like there's like a shift, there's like a tremor through the entire Western world right now that I think it's getting shook up. Like I saw like Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of Britain was being like, hey, listen, we probably can't keep up with all these immigrants coming in. It's like, you're saying that? Whoa, dude, things are changing, man. Things are changing in the world. There's like a mega movement now, make Europe great again. And there's like these like far right, as the media is calling them, government officials who are like, gaining a lot of support that are pushing back on like all the crazy stuff that's going on in Europe. And you talk about bureaucracy and talk about, corruption and wasted money. I mean, I feel like we're going to keep covering a lot of crazy stuff in America, but I bet, like I said last week, if you did it to Europe, it would be devastating. Probably like Civil War level shit, because it's crazy. I also heard that what the EU might now this is I don't know how validated this is, so take it with that, but like a big part of the EU might be funded by like Qatar. And it's like, oh, okay, well that tracks. That makes more sense. Makes a lot more sense. I went down the rabbit hole of USAID and EU schemes. I think if you think that shit will stop, you don't want that black pill. Look, I mean, I would have never thought it was even possible, but every single day I find out new things. Like I find out that FEMA sent 59 billion or million? Whatever. It was a lot of money that to house illegal immigrants in luxury hotels in the United States, in New York City. At the same time, we had like Maui and the hurricanes and, now the fires in LA. And it's like that, that's what FEMA's for. It's for like disasters. It's like it's supposed to be there for that. It's not there to fucking just give away millions of dollars of tax money to house illegals in fucking luxury hotels because the policy of that city is so stupid that they literally won't turn people away because it's a sanctuary city, which meant nothing up until Republican governors started like shipping up all the immigrants. And now they're like, oh shit, this actually is a problem. It's like, yeah, is it? Is it suddenly a problem now that it affects you? Weird, odd, strange. Why do we need to fund gender studies in Nigeria? Gender studies don't need to be funded, period. And if the Nigerians want to fund their own gender studies, by all means, have at it. Go crazy. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I just don't want to pay for it. Said you did agree. Westoid Euros are cringe, but you do exert pressure. It's just done in a fox, not a lion way. I'm sure, I think that's what all this USAID stuff was, I think. I mean, other than just blatant corruption, I think a lot of it was literally just, instead of having like, exerting military power, just exert financial power to get what you want. I don't know. I just want to spend as little money as I can with the best trade negotiations possible, and as few wars as we could ever manage. That's what I think. They think whatever Rachel Maddow tells them to think. We know this already, cult programming. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. But that one's like, it's a wild one. It's wild to me. I guess I still like assume that they have the capability of thinking and observing the facts, and which I know is dumb, stupid of me. But didn't Trump buy Ukraine this week? Well, if he didn't, I mean, the last administration sure made a pretty sizable down payment, $200 billion or whatever. I mean, there's so much money. I don't even understand it. It's so crazy that these people would just give away this money and just like, yep, now we need more. It's like, whoa, what are you doing? What do you mean? This will stop. This will run out eventually. This will collapse. Can't keep going like this. Why is it the obligation of the United States of America to just give away all this money, all this time, all this? Well, when did that ever become the way things are supposed to be? It's so corrupt. It's crazy how corrupt it is. My God. What do you say? Hold on. I'm trying to follow here. Two-tier care isn't going to do anything about immigration lip service. No, I'm sure that he won't, but the fact that he's talking about it, the fact that the rest of the world is seeing, oh, it is possible. It is simply just the leaders that have been there. Because now that we have like Trump being like, no, illegals are out, bad spending's out. You know, we're not getting taken advantage of in trade relations anymore. No, it's all done. And he's doing it. It hasn't even been a month. And so it's like, I think the rest of the world is being like, oh, shit. You know, the politicians are probably like, oh, fuck, they're coming for us next. You know, I would be. I'd be scared if I were one of them. I'd be like, I better straighten my shit out, you know? I think the people are probably getting a little stirred up, being like, oh, wait, this was an option this whole time? We could stop doing all this nonsense? Really? Okay. Hello, William Richards. USAID started as a slush fund for black ops and regime destabilization and ended up as a bunch of blue-haired trannies using taxpayer funds as charitable contributions for any project they liked. Yeah, I mean, you could argue it's roughly the same thing. You know, it's kind of instead of like a black op, it's a psyop. You know, whatever it takes to destabilize the West. Which I just, you know, let's just say you achieve your goal, completely destabilizing the West. Where are you going to go? What was that? Thought I heard something. Look, what happens? You know? You just live off in some walled off, you know, like paradise on an island somewhere. Like, what happens when you destroy the whole Western world? Then what? Then where do you go? What happens next? Where do you go on vacation? You know? Like, I don't know. Why is that your goal? Whose goal is that? To destroy the whole Western world? Why? What do you get out of that? I guess money? It's like selling your soul to the devil? I don't know. Big ship. I mean, you're aware that money isn't exactly no strings attached, right? No, yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of like diplomacy, not diplomacy, but power via aid. But yeah, I don't know. The chat's fucking lit up today. You guys are fired. Kier's been in a panic since his polling tanked. Yeah, sure, he should be. They all should be. Every politician should be. You know, you should be anyway. You should be worried about us. But like when this guy comes in, you know, and just is like, absolutely not, just starts kicking ass, taking names, you know, tearing down the walls, exposing all the roaches, all the infestations, and then just doing it. You know, it's like there's going to be pushback. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be some, you know, steps back. But right now, it's just a wrecking ball, and everyone loves it. You know, everyone like the numbers. His approval numbers are great. Everyone's like, this is exactly why we voted him in. There's all these fake accounts pretending that they don't like Trump now. It's retarded. But it's like when you see it, that's possible. You see, actually, someone can come in and do all that, and you've been lied to your whole life. That somehow this system is so, you know, entrenched, and there's no, it moves like an aircraft carrier is always the analogy I heard. And then you see, like, no, it doesn't. It moves like a speedboat if you wanted to. It, you know, it cuts like a race car if you decided that you wanted to. You know, move fast, break stuff. That's what he's doing. It's great. It's like it's so impressive, and it's just like I feel like that's just a wake up call for like every like electorate in the world. Like, whoa, wait, this was an option the whole time, and you told me it wasn't. And you were lying, and they're like, oh no, of course. I mean, obviously, immigrants are bad. We always knew that. We got to get rid of them. You freaked me out with this 6 million with Cotton. When I read this, it says they say 6 million people, and I was like, oh Jesus, where's he going? What are you going to do to me? You going to get me kicked off YouTube? They say, oh yeah, they allegedly, not in the numbers I've seen. They say 6 million people will die from AIDS. Whew. If Trump takes away the foreign aid bill, 6 billion, lol. What's the spin on that one going to be? I mean, that's you see that like they found like one or two instances where there was like, okay, that's a bit, that sucks, you know. And the thing is, like, I feel bad. Like, there's lots of farmers like in this country that I honestly feel, you know, not that I think that I want their farms to go down, but I don't like that they get subsidized. there's a lot, like the agribusiness in this country is so bloated. That's why corn isn't absolutely everything, because it's a subsidized product by the government. The government still subsidizes many crops. I don't think they should. But if you were to stop those subsidies, which I think are a burden on the taxpayer, end up making us eat poison, and aren't good for like the global, like the country's like kind of economic health, and probably honestly the like health, like in a nature way of the country. But if you get rid of those subsidies, all those farms are going to go under, and that sucks, and I don't want that to happen. It's kind of like with all this stuff, it's like the bloat gets so big, and people's lives become so entrenched in this sort of government teat of like getting, whether it's welfare or this foreign aid or all this stuff. And then you just take it away. And then people are like, whoa, what the fuck? You're screwing me over. And it's like, yeah, in a sense, you're right. You are getting screwed over. The thing is, it should have never existed in the first place. So it's like, there's going to be a lot. It's like the same thing with the immigrants that come in here. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for wanting to come in and have a better life in a developed Western nation. I get it. It's a lot easier than trying to reform and, transform your entire country. I understand. And you were sold a raw deal. You were told you could just come over and, everything would be fine. You'd be naturalized pretty easily. It'd be great. So like, I'm sorry, that's not the case anymore. It is unfortunate, but we can't put the needs of you above the needs of our own people. It's just not what we're going to do. I don't want to. And I ain't doing it. We still pay farms to scrap products. I watched, speaking of the fat electrician, as I was earlier, he did a video he has a second channel called The Fat Files. And it was about this, he called it the raisin cartel, which essentially FDR ended up making like a part of the Department of Agriculture, like just responsible for raisins, and the amount of like waste and theft and bad economics and just horrible government corruption, oppression, overreach that went through was so mind-blowing. And it's so funny too, because it's like you think about, right, we're seeing all this stuff now with like USAID and the FEMA and all this just like crazy waste and spending and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, but that ain't new. You know what I mean? It's not new. It's probably never been this big and this widespread, but it ain't new. It's like the government's been pretty dumb and stupid for a long time. It's done a lot of dumb shit for years. We were talking about AIDS. When you see 6 million people, first thing you don't think of is AIDS. At least I don't. I start to be like, oh, Jesus, what's he about to go down? What's he about to try to defend? We have a dairy cartel in Canada. They just pump milk trucks into ditches. It's crazy, dude. So I mean, and then it just becomes this sort of like this broken system where they're getting like government aid, it's like there's not the natural ebbs and flows of the economy, right? Like the market, like I think I do kind of believe in that libertarian principle of free market economics and kind of let the market tell you, because it's like it is its own thing, right? It does have, like, if I want something, like I was listening to Asmongold earlier, not by choice, it just kind of came on autoplay and I left it on. But he was talking about, I guess, like GTA 6 is supposed to come out, the new game is supposed to come out, and they're looking at like $100 price tag. And the industry is looking at it being like, oh, is this going to be when we change over to like $100 games? Is this going to be the new AAA standard is $100? Because the price of games apparently hasn't really changed in like 30 years. It's always been about, $50-$60 is pretty much what it's been for years and years and years. And that, not congruent with inflation and all this stuff. And they're trying to make all these arguments. So it's like, there's only like, I think this was Asmongold's point too, but there's really only one point you need to make. Will people spend the money? Will they spend $100 on a video game? If the answer is no, then you don't need to, there's no other, that's it. That's the whole thing. Then you can't have giant video game companies anymore. You know what I mean? Like if it's not congruent with inflation, if the value of games to gamers is going to stay the same, but the price is going to go up, then you won't sell the games. And then the answer is not. Like, it will just eventually come back. You don't need like all this like fancy, analysis. It's just like, will they or won't they? It's all there is. And so it's a lot of stuff with like it's just the market. The market will take care of it. The market will do it. Just listen to the market. What does the market want? And then provide. If I'm Caucasian, I love my country. Why does that make me a white nationalist? Yes. And you should be ashamed. And how dare you feel that way? How dare you feel that way? That doesn't, it's okay now, right? It's like totally cool to be like a patriot and be like proud of the country and yourself and your race and we don't have to do this anymore. We don't have to play this bullshit game with white people where everyone else is get to be super proud. And we have to pretend like we all have to feel bad about ourselves. We're all colonizers. I think that's over. At least it's over for now. That's the thing too about the ops. The ops. I feel like the ops are gonna lay in the cut for a little while. They're gonna regroup. They will reform into the slime monster that they are. Just need to be diligent. Need to be diligent. William Richards, the AIDS thing is insane. Literally stop using sand as lubricant and you'll be fine. I do not know what you're talking about, but that is just a funny ass comment. I just wanted to read that. That really, really made me laugh. New Baum, you should watch Wendigoon as well. He did one of the Chiquita Bananas and they owned the market for years and hired kill squads to force regime turnover. Yeah, Banana Republics. That was a whole thing for years. Isn't the Dole Corporation in Hawaii as well? Didn't the Dole Corporation have to do with kind of taking over Hawaii and incorporating it into the United States? I guess that's the issue with anarcho-capitalism, Sentient Dildo, is that, if Jeff Bezos wanted to fund a private army, he could probably fund a pretty good one. If he wanted to just start like literally killing the competition, he probably could. It does get a little... There does need to be rules, That's why I don't believe in just like pure libertarianism. I just believe in more like as little regulation as possible and as encouraging as much free competition and capitalism as possible. But yeah, it gets dark too. It gets dark. People literally kill the competition, and then try to corrupt government to get their stuff. So yeah, it happens. It happens. All right. Talked about the Super Bowl. Talked about Doge. I ranted about dumb shit. What was this one? Oh, yeah. This is an interesting one. And I've been seeing it. And it's not something that I accounted for that I thought would be something that we'd be seeing. Cotton Ministry. White people, the global minority. We don't need diversity for our strength. Just saying. Yeah, that is a weird one too. They always try to be like, white people. It's just, literally like one of the smallest populations on the planet. Give us that's just facts. Just facts. I don't know. Let me live, man. Let me live. Anyway, so this is one of the things that came out of like the Trump administration. The Hegseth thing, like once again, one of those things that you just kind of feel like is like once it's put in place, it's like it's just put in place and there's nothing to get rid of it. But like, and I heard this too, and it was kind of like it's February, it's Black History Month. Like, have you heard much about that recently? I don't even think I saw anything at the Super Bowl about it. I don't think there was a moment to acknowledge it. Like I really don't feel I've heard anything about Black History Month at all. And then like, Hegseth is like, no more months in the military. Bullshit. We're done with all that gay stuff. No. And Trump's talking about maybe potentially getting rid of some of these months and some of these like, diversity initiatives and blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa, I didn't even think that was possible. But get this. This is from Leading Report on Twitter. Breaking. Google removes Pride Month and the start of Black History Month from its calendar application. Google does that. Big tech giant, gay ass Google does that. Gay ass Google, the same company that owns YouTube, that censors me if I question things like climate change or COVID or whatever. That's a really interesting development. Google's not putting that, and that because it's like you see that stuff. You see like Juneteenth is like in your calendar. It's like if there's ever been an activist holiday, oh my God. I feel like that was one of those things, like the woke do this a lot, where you're like, they'll talk about something as if it always existed, but it just was like developed like the other day. It's like Biden made Juneteenth the holiday, and they acted like, fucking Carter did. Like it'd been around for decades. It's like, I'd never heard of this concept. And it's like, neither did you. They just invented it and threw it out there, and now we're all supposed to go along with it. And when you get those things, it's kind of like, I wonder if we'll get rid of Juneteenth. And so Google getting rid of Black, like taking it out of the calendar app. It's like, dude, that's actually kind of sick. Because I think like a lot of like what people were so frustrated with, and forgive me if this is an obvious point, but it is just the constant reminder of all this shit. I think that's why it's frustrating. That's why like I got frustrated last week when they introduced race, like the concept of race into the world of Severance. I was just like, oh, like I don't want that. I don't want that there. It's just because it's like it's everywhere else. It's on Twitter, but it's in movies, it's in TV, it's in the news. It's just like there's no escape. Even I live in Austin, gay ass Austin, but even there, it's like they've toned down with a lot of it. To be fair to the libs, they've toned down a lot of it. But you still go at every brewery, every bar, restaurant, go pride flags and fucking. Used to have like the BLM stuff, but they got rid of that. But it was just like you still have it. It's still a thing. And it's the reminder. It's a constant reminder. Oh God. Like it's just the being beaten down with it. And when I see people like my mom, who has, God love her, has TDS, still cannot break out of that matrix, hates him for no real reason other than she thinks she's supposed to, I think. And is not tuned into anything like at all. Like I've given these examples before, but I was just like, told her like SJW, and she's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "How is that possible? You don't know that?" But she's just not. She's not terminally online. She's not into any of this stuff, so she doesn't know. Which is good. Good for her. She shouldn't. It's stupid. But when she's just like, when she's rolling her eyes and she's annoyed and she's frustrated, and like my ex-girlfriend who doesn't know about any of this shit. When she was like watching shows, she's like, "Oh my God, someone's always gay. Always someone's gay." Like when they notice it, it's like it's gone so far that people are just like, ugh, they're just over it. That's why I feel like I haven't heard shit about Black History Month all month. What's it, February 10th? I swear I haven't even seen anything about it. Sometimes you go to Google, the homepage, and it's got some gay animation about some fucking trans person who did something. I haven't seen these things. I haven't heard about it. And it looks like it's changing. It's like, that is not something I thought we were going to see change. Pretty wild. Listless. It's all activist garbage and not interesting historical facts. When I was a kid, I don't know, man. I remember Black History Month was like a thing. And it did feel like one of those things where it was like the beginning of like this propaganda and stuff like that. But I don't really think anyone cared. But then it just kept going and going, and it was everything. And there's like 14 like trans awareness days. And it's just like, it just becomes white noise. You don't even hear it anymore. It's just like, it's nothing. Cotton Ministers, Kanye deactivated his Twitter, kind of bummed, not gonna lie. He was having a ball there, wasn't he? He was having fun, lighting up stuff. Did you see? I guess I do still have some stuff left on the Super Bowl. So what happened with the Elon commercials? I thought Elon spent all this money on these commercials. Whatever happened with that? Where'd the Elon commercials go? Why didn't I don't know. Elon Starlink was featured in a T-Mobile Superbowl ad. Oh, okay. I guess it was featured, but I thought it was going to be like a bunch of Doge commercials or something. I thought there was going to be a whole... Anyway, But then I guess I must have missed this because, like I said earlier, I wasn't really paying attention to the commercials. But I guess Kanye, I guess he spent a lot of money on Superbowl ad and then like sent all the people to his website, and he took down every single product except a white T-shirt with a black swastika on it. Dude, I mean, this fucking guy, like, hold on a second.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler.
Bro, like, even people, I think even like Jews were kind of like, all right, he's just sort of off his meds and spurging. And I think everybody kind of was like, all right, he's nuts. He kind of walked it back and stuff like that. And then he comes back. Like, and it was almost, people were almost ready to be reintroduced with Kanye and kind of like, we'll all just look the other way, bygones and all that stuff. And then he just comes out so hard and he's just lighting up Twitter and then selling swastika merch. It's like, what the fuck, man? I guess he's just crazy. He's just a nut. I mean, there's really no way around it. It's just he's just a lunatic. He's a crazy, crazy person. I don't know. I just feel like if you're that anti-Semitic, you should probably keep a lid on it. You know what I mean? It probably should be something you don't share with everyone. Like, it's such a wild, wild thing to do. Like, and it's not even like, there's actually some pretty good criticisms of like Israel's influence over this country right now that are like probably the most healthy conversation I've ever really seen on the topic. And it's actually kind of opened my eyes a little bit. The stuff that I think I just kind of like didn't really think about or whatever. And so like that, you know, so that's novel in that regard. But like, what even is it? It's almost like it's so far. It's almost like a psyop to be like, see, anti-Semitism is a big problem, and we do need to censor it, and we do need to do all this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so on the nose. It's so over the top. You're almost like, word? Like, what's actually happening here? I don't know. Maybe he's just crazy. His girlfriend looks like she got kidnapped. Yeah, she does. She do look like that. It does indeed. Elon unfollowed him. That's why he stopped. Yeah, I mean, you can't be. Look, you can't have the whole world been accusing you. That kind of stopped too. They stopped calling him a Nazi. They kind of dropped it because it was all bullshit anyway. But you can't have the whole, world and people accusing you of being a Nazi and then you follow Yi. You can't do it. You can't. It's a bad look. You gotta pull away from that one. Net Plus Yahoo is still one of the bestest internet moments. Oh, the Net Plus Yahoo, yeah. I think I have that clip somewhere too. Is this the one? Yeah.
I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. They are gonna have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us.
I mean, I'm in the twilight zone right now.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
Oh my God, dude. When Kanye or when Alex Jones comes off as like the rational one in the room, like, you've lost it. You've lost it. And I just remembered, I was like, I forgot, that's right. He linked up with Nick Fuentes. Where the hell did Nick Fuentes go? After that, like, murder assassination and the fact that, he blew Destiny or Destiny blew him or whatever, allegedly, he just vanished. Whatever. Where'd he go? What happened to good old Nick Fuentes? You know, everyone's lol cow. Let me see. What's he up to? What's good old Nick Fuentes up to? Nicholas J. Fuentes. He has 500,000 followers. That is way too much influence for this idiot. Shane Gillis went full Bud Light. Who is this for exactly? He's just no context tweeting. Something about Kanye. I support Trump and Elon suspending foreign aid to South Africa and bringing attention to the genocide of white Afrikaners. At the same time, I think it's mostly a pretext to punish South Africa for its genocide case against Israel. He's still doing the same shit. Whatever. He's a dork, Nick Fuentes. That guy stinks. Kanye is a false flag, maybe? Could be. I don't know. Pretty wild. Shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up, dude. Keep it down. Elon had his public humiliation ritual after he started noticing he's not taking chances anymore. Yeah, I mean, the whole heart thing. I mean, you got chill, bro. Just chill. You know, if you're going to notice, you got to notice better than that. And you can't be going out doing stuff like that. You better chill, dude. Better chill. When Alex Jones is done, that's another level. Yeah. Nick ain't that bad. Oh, Cotton. Oh, Wook. Jeez Louise. What else did I have? Oh, well, this is actually pretty interesting. And we can wrap up with this one. Been a very serious political show. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't have any jokes today. I only had hard, aggressive opinions. Maybe I am the fucking... No, I can't even say that. Never mind. Fuck you, Nadia. All right. This is actually interesting because I think it proves a point. I thought it was pretty cool. Kanye is just Kanye. Indeed. All right. Air traffic controller shortage of 3,800 due to DEI practices cutting 2 white, 2 elite candidates, says a lawyer. A critical shortage of 3,800 traffic controllers is because of the FAA DEI practices, leaving a gaping hole in recruitment, lawyer claimed to the Post. Over 1,000 would-be air traffic controllers were wiped out from consideration overnight because of diversity and inclusion hiring targets suddenly being implemented, according to the lead lawyer in a class action lawsuit against the FAA. Michael Pearson told the Post his clients had completed all their FAA-approved institutions before they were placed in direct hiring pool for traffic controllers, as was the standard at the time. Within months of graduating, they were informed by the FAA they would need to pass a new biographical assessment, which he claimed awarded extra points to people with no aviation experience. The FAA basically decided the students were too white and the schools too elite, so in 2013 knocked them off the preferred hiring list that they had trained and worked hard to get into, all because of their race, Pearson claimed. This is really interesting, actually, because the whole thing that happened recently, right, was like Trump and the FAA and this whole, controversy. Then planes start dropping out of the sky. And they try to point to Trump like it was his fault, as if like when you get rid of the DEI, like suddenly everyone just goes home and there's just no one in the air towers and the planes are just crashing into each other. It's obviously absurd. But you look at this and you're like, that is exactly an example of what the issue like is. It's like all that stuff that was like you weren't allowed to say out loud, that you couldn't necessarily prove, but you kind of knew was happening. It's all now in black and white, and the culture is changing. And this is like a direct example. And it's like, I think the DEI stuff came to the forefront of communication, of like the conversation last year when what's it called? What was I going to say? I lost my thought. With the pilots, with like woke pilots, everyone was like, no. People who didn't even know what DEI was went and Googled it and found out. They're like, no way, man. There's no chance you're going to like leave me with like the less qualified pilot for, the harms of the past to be nice. No. We want the best of the best. And I don't care what color they are. Whoever is the best is who I want flying the goddamn plane. And so it's like, that was like when the conversation started. Then, this whole DEI stuff happens. And then you see the FAA 100% doing discriminatory. I mean, according to this lawyer, but I have no doubt in my mind. It's like they have this like quota they can't fill because they won't look at the right candidates because it's like they won't be hired because, of this like inclusion shit, which that's what I was saying. Like diversity, no white people. Equity, taking money from rich people and giving it to other people. Inclusion, excluding anyone who doesn't have the ideology. That's what DEI really stands for. That's what it's all really about. And I thought this one was really interesting because it's like, this is the story about the DEI. And there's right there about the airplanes and pilots and the FAA. And it's all right there. It's all right there in black and white, I tell you. Thought it was a pretty good one. You got to read the entire lawsuit. That shit is insane. Really? Did you actually read like the legal filings? But let me check it out if there's more to it. Let me see. They had the training and the passion. They were ready to be hired. The air traffic control issue was sharply brought to focus on January 31st when American Airlines, hit the Black Hawk. The air traffic controller was operating with a 19 full-time staff, 2/3 of the 30 recommended by the FAA. Oh my God. Nationwide, there are 10,800 air traffic controllers, but 14,000 are needed to meet the current demand, according to National Traffic Controllers Association. So it's like instead of hiring white people, they're putting everyone's lives at risk. Cool. Yeah, good stuff. This country would have ended if Trump didn't win. Would have ended. The FAA engaged in staffing suicide. It takes 2 to 5 years to train as an air traffic controller and a long time to get these people in, Pearson claimed. Losing them meant a gaping hole was left. Okay. Simultaneously, a 4-year freeze on air traffic controller hiring was also underway as DEI policies were introduced, according to Pearson. The FAA, because of DEI policies, stopped hiring for 3. Okay. Stop repeating yourself. Directly according. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. In 2018, the biographical assessment was removed as a screening tool. If the DC crash is determined to be linked to ATC fatigue or lack of awareness, it's directly related to DEI. President Trump was right about that. Okay. Is there anything else about this? It's kind of a long article. Keeps going. No. I don't want to read. But yeah, not a boogeyman, a real issue, a genuine concern. And I'm glad that it's not, that it's, being fucking addressed as it should be. Good stuff. Sentient Dildo, I'm rewatching The Expanse again. I'm like halfway through season 1. I'm having trouble turning it off. I still love that show so much. That's just going to be my 20th time through. Something like that. 20 plus times through. Still just as much in love with it as day one. Wild. Such a good show. If you haven't seen The Expanse, go watch it on Prime. I might start making YouTuber type videos about it because it's just so good. And I'm just like, I still love it. I still have such a burning passion for it. So very well still may make those types of content. Let me read some of your chats real quick. I hope Trump doesn't cut the money for DEI in Serbia. Yeah, I saw you saying that the other night. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Yeah, absolutely. Let's trans the whole country. Is that what you're saying? Is that your goal? All trans by 2030. Sentient Dildo. That's his platform he's running on for Serbia. Okay. Great. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. We can do that. That was an hour and a half roughly for this week's episode of the MFer Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have fun. I hope it wasn't too much just straight up me angrily ranting. But I had some things I wanted to get off my chest, some things I wanted to talk about. And, God bless you all for being here. Say a little prayer for Gary's family, G-Man, R.I.P. That whole situation's brutal. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'll be home this week, so we will do another member stream on Thursday. Should be a good time, good old time. And then be back to normal on Monday, back in the studio. Not that you guys it matters that much to you. I'm still on camera. Just it won't look as, uninteresting as this one. But anyway, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys hanging out here. And I'll see you guys all next week. Ta-ta.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy.